You know where to put stuff. Hello. Welcome everybody. Nice to see y'all. What y'all up to? How you been? See, let's welcome our members and our subscribers. Let's welcome all our friends. See what we have. Good morning, good afternoon. I don't even know what time y'all are in. Um, hello, member Texas Flower. Nice to see you. A beautiful mess. Love that name. Member Miss Marianne, good afternoon. Thank you, Texas. These are exciting. Yeah, because it just be crazy. Thank you so much. Beautiful mess. Gazelle. Hey, hey y'all. Grace Santino, thank you. Silly. Yeah. Welcome. There's so much, like, it amazes me. It amazes me how there's so much going on, in like a week. I didn't go live last week. Um, but it just be so much that accumulates. And last week I was saying, oh, there's not too much that happened. And then as I said that midweek, a bunch of nonsense started to happen. And I was like, dang, I gotta go live. Um, so it just be outrageous. Like, just stuff. People are unbelievable. That's why, so much comedy is based on reality, because if you people watch, they're funnier than fiction and stuff that we can make up, and they're unbelievable, quite frankly. So um let's get our information up. I have to remember to do that. Join the membership, like the video, watch all the content that I put. Join the membership for exclusive content, just a bunch of everything. If you love Kendrick, that's the I guess the main focus. Um, so don't forget, try to hype the videos, share. Thank you for all the shares and people that are doing reactions to my reaction. I'm like, okay, that's nice. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. Some of the comments, some of the videos that are like crazy viral. Thank you for your support. I put the comments for members and for subscribers, because I be getting, I see y'all fighting in the comments to keep the Sensitive Savage neighborhood, smooth and sexy and everything. I appreciate y'all. So that's what I do sometimes. Um, Let me put all our information. If you would like to continue to support the channel, here's my information. I gotta learn how to do this right. Okay, let's see. Thank you. Let's see. Hello, Miss Marianne as well. Nice to see you. Yeah, I go live at different times, but this is okay for now. Sometimes it might be Thursday night, might be whenever, and I appreciate whoever can make it, etc. Why is this not? Okay, I'll just see what I can do. Let me see. Trying to let me open up another window, because technology be seriously acting up. Swear on God. Like, all right. So let's see. Put my information and make sure I'm putting the right stuff. Okay. Yeah, all that stuff. Join the membership. Okay. And I'm gonna just pin that comment. Okay. Let's see. Pin message. Okay. All right. So some on our docket today, on our information. Hi. Uh, Hi, Madman, aka Night Tonight. Thank you for being here. So on our list, this is what we have. This is what we have. So we have Drake's Appeal. We'll go over that quickly. I'm not gonna do all 60 pages. I don't have that kind of time, and nor would I, if I had that kind of time, would I dedicate that kind of energy to Drake. But it is important because we need to know what's going on in hip hop and what are the new threats of hip hop. So Drake's appeal and Drake's fire and Drake's Iceman and Kendrick's fireman situation. We'll talk about that, which was funny. It's funny, but Drake's Iceman rollout that has been tragic to me, and has been out of control. Everything has been just you know crazy. So we also gonna talk about you know SZA and the situation with DJ Akademiks, which he has like a weird obsession about talking about her, and he's talking about the David situation because he went on tour with SZA like 3 years ago, etc. Um, we're gonna talk about G Malone, of course. Drake is all over the damn universe. He's just spread like the plague. He's just trying to, outrageous. You could tell when his PR team has exited the building, and when UMG is like, man, we ain't bothering you. UMG is giving him the side eye, so he don't care about nothing. He's on his own with his yes man. So G Malone, we're gonna talk about that. Our culture not united, ununited, culture not united. We're gonna talk about that, and y'all could, it's okay for us to agree to disagree. We be all drizzy. Um, we're going to talk about this complex situation, the list. And I did my research so y'all don't have to. Of all the people that were responsible for the list, I've been studying them, watching them, and researching them so we can come up with a synopsis as to why these feeble-minded people created this list, which means nothing to us and to real hip-hop fans. Just don't take that list even seriously. If you were, disgraced and offended by it like we were, we're not even listening, because it's like if you put a bunch of just idiots together and say, hey, you know what it's going to come up with. So we're going to talk about the list because it's outrageous. It's literally outrageous. um the people that they put before Nas and before real MCs is despicable. So what else we have? Okay, we have, and then we have, a lot of other things. Again, Kendrick and new music, and people saying that they seen him in coming out of the studio. Kendrick at Disney World, of course. JCole's basketball career, we'll mention that again, which that thing brought so many tears of joy to my eyes because, like I said in the comments to somebody, J. Cole's been shopping around for a new career. They all are. Game, all their friends, are shopping around to see what sticks. It's like throwing something on the wall and see what sticks. But in lighter news, we have Coachella. Because Drake's situation, that's going to take us a little bit. We have clips at Coachella, clips with the new song with Kalani, which was beautiful. Domani's on tour, adding new dates and added New York City and a few others. Baby Keem's sold out tour, he's doing great. Um, and so on and so forth. But let's hesitatingly let's start. Yeah, J Fold is folding up careers, and putting them away like laundry. This guy is, like I said that comment and I'm sticking with it. He's shopping around to find out what sticks. That's what he's doing. He's like, this is not working out, that's not working out. So Drake's appeal. Let's look at Drake's idiotic appeal. So I'll just go over some of the stuff. So this was, he amended it, of course, amended complaint, hashtag amended complaint forever. So he just added some things. His team on April, they just added something. The lawsuit was dismissed against UMG, was dismissed in October 2025. Regarding Kendrick's Not Like Us, but he wouldn't sue Kendrick directly because he's a punk. Um, Calling him a PDF and us having a wonderful time at his 48 or 47 celebration of life. The funeral tour that Kendrick had. How you doing? How you doing, Janelle? So it was October 2025. The lawsuit was dismissed. It's like, get the hell out of here, right? So then Drake in January was like, I'm gonna appeal because he's a crybaby. He can't take a loss to save his life. Forever and a day till he dies, he will not accept this loss. He's just like Trump. Trump doesn't think anything that he does is his fault. So it's the same thing. They're twins. That might be his long lost son. And JCole also, the narcissistic syndrome of not feeling like anything is their fault, and they didn't lose. So Drake's team argues that the court created a dangerous precedent that rap lyrics can be actionable, claiming millions took the lyrics of Not Like Us like factual. First of all, he has to understand that people take things as how they are. It's art. The intelligent people. The thing is that Drake thinks that everybody is as dumb as his fans. So he's like, oh, if you say something, they're gonna believe it because Drake is one big propaganda machine. So he likes to twist narratives so people can believe it because he knows it's easy to impress his fan base and for them to believe that. Oh, nice, nice from Detroit, Janelle. That's nice. Welcome. So he found it dangerous, and millions took the lyrics he's claiming as factual. He didn't worry about that when he was on stage with a 17-year-old, I suppose, right? So this hypocritical thing, it doesn't impress intelligent people like ourselves. So the legal support on April 3rd, 2026, the academic voices from Yale, the scholars filed briefs, supporting UMG and saying that the statements threaten the First Amendment rights. So after that, I guess Drake's team continued the argument and um, made it now in a separate class action lawsuit. Yeah. So he has, first of all, Drake has several lawsuits against himself. His new career is being in court, honestly, because he still has to deal with a bunch of stuff. There's like streaming situations, streaming numbers that UMG allegedly inflated for him. He has a bunch of stuff going on, and he has other quiet um, court situations. As that guy a few months ago saw him, the one that was the court artist, I guess, saw him coming out of court with some type of domestic situation. So he's in and out. That's his rollout is mostly that. But in this new thing, the reason why a lot of people are outraged is because they now added they this is 60 pages, but the gist of it is that they're saying this there's an error, especially stark with respect to tailor-made freestyle, which was mentioned in the amended complaint this week. They contested the lyric in Drake's voice. They basically are saying, despite this, court found that a reasonable listener would have understood the recordings of the PDF file mentioned. But he's basically saying that the tailor-made freestyle, his team is saying, you shouldn't even blame us or whatever because it's not his voice. It's Tupac's voice. It's AI generated. So he's basically saying like that was not his voice. He's not to blame, and this is what the outrage is. First of all, Tupac's estate threatened to sue him because of using that nonsense, and anybody that defends how he used that is insane because that's so disrespectful. And that's why I was happy when they threatened to sue him, and that's why he had to take it down. He wants to pretend like he's in control. He's not in control. When he disrespected too far, he had to, he had another threat of a lawsuit. And he's basically saying that it's, not his voice, like, he doesn't take blame for it. And He just keeps going back and forth and back and forth. My opinion on this whole outcome is that this is going to be thrown away. He's fighting something that they extensively already prove that his case is so weak. His case is so weak. He had previously filed a petition. He had previously been on the side of the art because it was something that he had to do. You get me? It's a PR stunt, and he signed saying that lyrics should not be judged in a court of law as factual because it's all hyperbole, hyperbolic statements to emphasize uh, your point or just for battle and for art and the art of rapping. So UMG is responding. So UMG is trying to critically undermine his appeal. So they've just been back and forth and back and forth. I'm not sure when the next court date is, but UMG is firing back. Now, we're gonna talk about UMG and Glasses Malone, which it's related. The UMG and Glasses Malone situation is related because a lot of people like we shouldn't trust UMG. Bet I got it. You know what I'm saying? I understand, but at the same time, who is fighting? Who is fighting for hip hop? It's like a clock. It's right twice a day. Who is fighting? And as I've stated before, and I'm gonna make this comparison. You see how Jay-Z is not really acting like he's for the culture lately. He's like, well, to be honest, because he got his ass whooped in a battle, he got ethered decades ago. And you know what? He continued. He became a super mogul. He did whatever he had to do. But the fact remains, he got his butt whooped. You understand? So, of course, he's not going to be for battles because it didn't work favorably to him. So, but just like Jay-Z was, talking about trying to dismantle the foundation of rap and battle rap, but at the same time he put Kendrick on the Super Bowl. He had a mission. My theory about that is that God and the universe use people for a mission. So it's like when you've been with someone that was terrible, right? For example, in a relationship, but you got something out of it because you learned from that. You understand? You were supposed to learn from that. You were supposed to say, what am I supposed to be changing about myself, or what do I not like, etc. And some people are sent to give a message. So that was Jay-Z's job, and also Jay-Z did that for dollars. You got to remember, Kendrick was the most streamed, the number one talked about artist, the most pivotal artist at the time. So he made a chess move for that. It benefited the pockets of these people that have mad money. So that was his job, was to put Kendrick on that stage and give his message, etc. So the same way, that was his job, is the same way that UMG is the only thing that we have that's defending. Now, they're defending it for their own reasons. You got to understand that. UMG is just protecting themselves. They're playing defense because this idiot brought, hip hop into a courtroom. So they're just playing defense. They're not our best friends. They've been, allegedly they've done a lot of people wrong with their contracts and everything, and they're questionable, but they're being used right now for this situation. Because what do we have? People are still streaming Drake, and people still supporting, and people keep pandering back and forth with someone that has already proven to do a bunch of despicable things that we have witnessed. There's no allegedly there. You're on the stage with a 17-year-old. That's despicable, disgraceful. So we already know how he moves. And that, what do we have? What do we have? We need to take some actions. Hi, Miss Lachelle. Remember Miss Lachelle? Just getting in the house. Nice to see you. Welcome, Edward. That's all good. Yeah, I think UNG will win this battle. I hope so too. That's all we have. And put a pin on that because that relates to G Malone, to Glasses Malone, going off on the culture not united. Okay. Now let's talk about this rollout. this Drake rollout. First of all, everything about Frake or Drake is fake. Okay, that's what we call him, Frake. Also, everything about him is fake. We discussed that, right? We discussed that. Okay, he's over there. BBL Drizzy, you get it, but this rollout, he's been rolling this out for about 10,000 years, or maybe 2 years, 2.5 years. This rollout, I'm not impressed by it. Okay, fine. He put blocks of ice. He put, what was it? How 22 trucks. It took 22 trucks and 1 million pounds of ice. He's so wasteful. You understand? Like, it is what it is. People are like, oh, that's a lot of waste of water and just a waste. I get that people think that he was trying to make a fun experience. He's not making no fun experience. He's extremely self centered and selfish. And everything he does is a master manipulation. That's how I see it. So for the content creator saying, it's really creative, I don't think it's creative at all. I don't care about any of that. You get me? So I'm the wrong person to be sympathetic with Drake. And if you in my channel and you understand, you feel like we feel, then you in the right place. Blaming a dead man and Shaky and Pac and all that. They should go ahead. Yeah, going back to that, Miss Texas, they need to just blow him up. The Tupac's estate should just sue him for 500 mil. For the 400 mil, I would literally sue him for what UMG gave him. That way, it's like you giving the money to somebody. You either give the money to UMG or you give it to Tupac's estate. The end. You know what I'm saying? Give the money to somebody. I'm petty like that. Respectfully, I'll be like, oh, how much did you put in with Drake? Okay, boom. I'll team up with UMG and be like, nah, get him, finish him. So it's all good. So yeah, that was absolutely despicable. This is who he is. He has no moral compass. Like, he has no moral compass. You can't expect him to have integrity, because unless, what are you gonna do? You're gonna do a brain transplant to have him become somebody else? Like, what are we doing? What are we even talking about? He has no integrity. He hasn't learned anything, because, like I say, and I'm the unpopular opinion, he hasn't reached rock bottom yet. He hasn't reached, but he's on his descent to help, but he hasn't reached rock bottom. And some people are so toxic that they're used to swimming in their toxicity. For example, you see people that don't learn their lessons. Some of these celebrities, they keep dating the same kind of people. They keep doing the same thing until the lessons get harder and harder and harder. And that's what it is. A knucklehead is going to learn the extreme way. You could be, some people never learn. Some people die just being stubborn. So, yeah, like I said, I'm in the right place. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I found that rollout trifling. Right, I wasn't impressed. I was one of the people, and I'm not a panderer. Listen, like I said, I'm proud to say that however small my channel is, this is a community for people that don't back and forth. I do not back and forth. I don't give Drake grace. I don't give him any grace. I don't see no, because all these content creators that gave him grace, like, oh, this is a really cute rollout. Look at them now. After that thing came out, I was like, I'm gonna wait. You see me waiting? I'm chilling in the cut. I'm chilling, like, you know what? Let me ride this wave out. Let me observe. I'm the observer. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching. I'm in my Kendrick. I be watching, observing quietly, because I'm like, watch this play out. Because I don't believe. Once you show me who you are, I'm gonna believe. I'm gonna believe who you are, and I'm not gonna believe anything that comes out of your mouth. So, exactly, just as the day is bright, just like clockwork, this whole thing was staged. So he puts out all these blocks of ice, and it becomes unsafe. People bugging the hell out on that ice. Frake is worse than Shaggy at this point with the it wasn't me. Yeah, it wasn't me. That's his anthem. That's his anthem. Drake drops Iceman. I'm gonna need to track and call his whole album trash and corny. Like, yeah, I'm not listening to it. And if I have to read the lyrics or something, or if there's something, because I know he's gonna, with this album, my prediction is, of course, he is treating this album like a battle. You get me? This is his round two. in his head. Kendrick already left them in the sand. He left them in, you know, like he left them out to dry like a raisin in the sun. You know what I'm saying? Langston Hughes. He left them out. He's already been dismantled, you know, eviscerated, demolished, and, you know, buried 40 something times, right? But it's like, oh, you don't want to stay dead. You want to pretend like everything is sweet. That's what he keeps doing. You know, he keeps acting like, oh no, I'm fine. Everything, the worst rollout. So, fans started acting up. They started doing unsafe stuff. People were getting haircuts up in that piece. They were playing piano. They were setting the thing on fire. So then the fire department came in. So it looks so unorganized. Doesn't it look like you just, you know, gave a bunch of like 10-year-olds the responsibility of this rollout? Yeah, you get me? It's like they're going to be on their worst behavior, literally, you know, pun intended. So they shut it down. Then all of a sudden, they shut it down. They closed it. They were like, this is unsafe. Then the fire department had to come out and pour water on it to start melting it. That is so embarrassing, and he just keeps taking L's after L's. It's like an L soup. You know, he just loves to freaking take L's. I told you, I said this in my first live. Drake is addicted to embarrassment. He is a glutton for punishment. I said it in all my shorts. He enjoys being humiliated, embarrassed, and whatnot. You get me? He loves every second of it. Miss Marianne said, people trying to break the ice and nobody found the money. No, nobody found the money until the very next day. This is exactly what happened, because I watched everything to see what the hell, and I was like, okay. So then this streamer Kishka, whatever the heck his name is, he came in the night before, right? And he was like, check out my shorts on it. Okay, I have a short about, you know, and everybody's on top of the ice. That's the short that everybody's on top of the ice looking crazy. And he came the night before, whatever, and was like, oh yeah, I was spending a bunch of time. Then out of nowhere, in the middle of the day, they opened up. When he came back in, the fire department and everybody, there was clearance for them to leave it alone and to open it back up at the perfect moment that he came in. So then he gets on top of, he goes to an exact location of the ice, and within an hour, or less than an hour, all of a sudden he found an envelope, which a lot of people speculating that stuff was put there overnight, because everybody was by the ice and nobody saw, you know, anything blue or whatever. People were all over that thing. So he finds the thing, the envelope, the blue envelope. He doesn't even open it. And that's another fake thing. He doesn't open it. He goes to a gas station. He's chilling around town or whatever for a little bit. And he's like waiting for what? Right? So I'm watching this dude, and it's like, oh, you waiting for a phone call. You get me? You waiting for a phone call. I'll be watching these things so you don't have to. So he's waiting for a phone call. Let me see what Edward said. Yes, Drake's fan keep flooding. Yeah, they're flooding. And as far as how they're flooding Kendrick's stuff, I don't care about that. They're idiots, because they're Kendrick streams are going up, and and Kendrick is trending. They don't understand, because they're, you know, brain dead. They don't understand that if you give engagement, like, you know, all these people that be hating in my channel, the few people or whatever, because I don't keep them around that long. I be on it. People be telling me, y'all be handling it. They're engaging. Don't you understand? If you're like, I hate your channel, you just gave me a view and a comment. You get me? It counts as a view. Thank you. So that's what they're doing. They're making him viral. So people running, not like us. We're running all the numbers back up. People, it's a game that plays itself, you know, and play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and that's another thing. Drake did not make it plain and simple that there was going to be a prize right away. So a lot of people didn't even know. So mad people didn't know that there was a prize. All of a sudden, we got 50K. Some people were saying it was 30K. All of a sudden, so the guy was waiting at a gas station, and all of a sudden, he gets a call from Aiden Ross. Why do I not get a call from Aiden Ross? Can anybody answer that? Why do I not? Because he don't got my number, because I don't got nothing to do with that dude. You understand? I got nothing to do with that dude. He can't find me. I don't know who he is. I don't give a damn, you know? So why does this guy? Because they've been acquaintances. So if you're acquaintance of Aiden Ross and he got your number, you best believe that you're working for Drake. Okay, allegedly or whatever the heck y'all want to say. So it's exactly what happened. All of a sudden, Aiden Ross gives him instructions like after he allegedly talked to Drake, like, "Yo, y'all, you ready? Because we got the cameras rolling and we're gonna make this epic." What the audience is not dumb. Kendrick's audience is not dumb. True Kendrick fans, we're not dumb. We know how this guy moves, and that's why I was like, ain't no way Kendrick is gonna do something silly like that. Now, if he wants to surprise us all by doing some fireman, whatever, y'all, any good music he puts out, any music he puts out, I'm gonna receive it. I'm gonna laugh. That would be one of the funniest, surprises of all times if Kendrick, comes out and has a fireman. And they got they had a pretty decent fireman like AI, whatever, that they were trying to do, and it's like they mixed Kendrick songs or whatever, and I was like, that's crazy. Like they're really trying, but I was like, I knew that was AI. So I was like, I know what his unreleased music is, and I make sure, I try to make sure that I confirm that this is Kendrick's unreleased music, and plus I have great sources. I have the source. I have the hard drive allegedly, so I know it's Kendrick's music that's unreleased, and I know what's AI. And they try to put, a song together. If y'all, I didn't post it because I'm not giving AI like credit like that, but it was funny to me because they made it sound like what Kendrick would say if he had a song called Fireman. They're tripping online. They are big tripping. So let's see what y'all saying. People trying to break the ice. Nobody found. Yeah, they didn't find the money. So then all of a sudden he gets a phone call and from Aiden Ross, and Aiden Ross said, "You got to go to the house, and you got to go." And he knows where Drake lives. You get me? Okay, fine. And he went to the house. Security didn't give this guy no whatever. Because if this was a true rollout, and they're doing something fun, let's say, Kendrick might do something fun, right? For with Baby Keem's rollout for the fans and the young kids or whatever. Great, but it would be organized and it would be purposeful because for crying out loud, Baby Keem had a concert in an underpass of a highway, and that thing was absolutely organized. It was sponsored. It was three companies under it. It was great, and it was strategic and planned. Whether we didn't know about it till it was a pop up, but they had been planning for months. So that's what Kendrick's doing right now. So then he goes to the house, and the guy gets an envelope. And by the way, why would if it was a true fan that found the envelope, he's gonna open it up and be live on his whatever, or just go live anywhere, or just record himself and just be like, look what this is what it says. This is what it says. The guy was so patient. It looked like he was waiting for instructions. Which he was. He's like, we're gonna do it this way. Don't open the envelope. And then he opened it at Drake's house, and it said May 15, whatever, whatever. Then all of a sudden, I think he turned his camera off, and then we see that he has an envelope, a Ziploc bag, or whatever the heck, with money, and he get 50K. So that's not a rollout to me. That didn't take ingenuity. That didn't take creativity because a lot of us realize at that stage. I laugh at the fact that as some content creators that you look up to a lot of content creators, but you realize that you're smarter than them. Respectfully, know your worth. Know your worth, people, because a lot of these people just be putting out anything, reacting to anything like, oh my God, Kendrick is gonna drop an album. No, that's why I did the video and I said this is allegedly what people are saying. Let me see where. And Kendrick doesn't move like that. Like I said in the comments, Kendrick might do something, and if I see if Kendrick wants to do a strategy like that, like he did, with Meet the Grams, back to back strategy, it's gonna be epic. So I said it in a comment. If I was Kendrick and I gave Drake like 24 hours to celebrate his or 10 hours, whatever, 5 hours to celebrate his album release, and then I'll be like, oh, by the way, Black Hippie, we drop an album, boom, drop the Black Hippie album. Nobody's gonna be talking about Drake. I promise you that. I promise you, boo boo. Nobody will be talking about Drake. If that man gives us what we've been asking for, that would be a strategy. And you know, those are suggestions that I'll be putting out. You know, and I share because that's just a strategy. They're just gonna keep flooding. Yeah, they're flooding. It doesn't matter. Yeah, found the release date. Um, don't. Or smart. Marianne, we need some to throw on the icer, the icer, and that's why it is funny to me that you know the fireman thing. By the way, since we're talking about it now, that fireman outfit it had the TMZ watermark on it, and TMZ kind of reposted or whatever. They accepted that. So I don't know what's going on and how true that is. They're saying that Kendrick came out of a recording studio looking like that. That's what they're saying. That he came out of a recording studio like that. So if he did, he's one funny motherfucker. You get me? So it's fun. It will be funny to me. Um, but it is what it is. So we'll see. Um, yeah, that's funny. Let's see what y'all saying. In the right place. Yeah, funny. Um, okay, so let's talk about academic, smackademic. Um, yeah, let's talk about the chair sticker. Let's talk about Smackademic. Smackademic has the ultimate nerve because he's a keyboard gangster, and this is why Glasses Malone be talking about you gotta throw hands, you gotta put hands on people. It's like you Martin Luther King or you want to be Malcolm, because some of these people, you know, not promoting violence, but some of these people need to be, let's say, in a ring boxing, doing a boxing charity match, right? And get their butts handed to them, get aired the hell out. They just need a good ass whooping, seriously. Because I don't, first of all, anybody calling academics a journalist doesn't know even what the word means or how to spell it. Smackademics, yeah, you know, fat backademics, and all he does is just, you know, DoorDash Premium member, you know, since 1855, you know, DoorDash Premium. That's all he does is just sit there and talk smack. So he fixed his lips and went off about SZA. First of all, SZA has him blocked from everything, and he's been getting at SZA for years, like disrespecting her, disrespecting her weight, disrespecting everything. When he should look at himself and be healthier himself, anyways. He talked about everything, her possible surgeries, etc. The thing is, he is okay with bullies and bullying, and that's why so many people want to get at him, and that's why so many people have, you know, threatened him and done everything until one day he meets his match. And I know that Kendrick has something for him too, for everybody. But he went off and he tried to say, put a correlation between SZA and this viral situation with this death of this poor, you know, child, with the David situation and Celeste situation. SZA in 2023 had someone open for her, but they canceled, and she put, yeah, DoorDash Premium. It's like those old commercials. I'm not just the I'm not just, wait, what do they say? Those old commercials. I'm not just the president, but I'm also a member or something like that. So he's like, you know, yeah, DoorDash Premium member says, you know, I don't know. But that's, yeah, that's all he's good at. Chair sticker, you know. Lord have mercy. That basement must smell like pain, agony, and defeat and devastation. Disgusting. Shower once in a while, dude. With his pack of hot dogs in the back of his head. But let me not get sidetracked. Um, you can't trust somebody like that. So he made the correlation. He was talking about that she had him on tour. She had a crazy guy on tour, and yeah, he was antagonizing her. And saying, first of all, no woman in their right mind. And I know that SZA is like the type of person that she's just like, yeah, hi everybody, hi, happily ever. Yeah, Academic hates women because he loves men and he can't admit it. Um, Fruity Tooty. So, but it's like live who you are. They are all inauthentic and liars, and he's gonna keep doing that until they whipped his ass. And that's why I'm with Glasses Malone. Like, until something happens, a charity event, boxing is what I'm talking about for donations. They need to take him to the hood and just be like, whatever. And he's a scary cat. He is a scary cat because when they free pressed him, and it was so delicious to watch when he decided to go to the GNX concert, and Dave Free was like, "Oh, you think we was gonna find out? We see the cameras. We're an organized organization. PG Lang is top of the top of the top tier. You think they're not gonna know who's on the list and who purchased stuff? They had that dude flag, and he named. They know his government. He gotta pay with real credit cards or whatever." And the cameras, they got facial recognition, so they found him easy. And plus, how can you miss Academics? He can't fit through standard doors. I was impressed that he just made it into the building, but I digress. So he pressed me. He's like, "Yo, what you trying to do, homie?" What? And he was scared of Dave Free. Dave Free is like a beautiful model, right? So, a genius producer. He can't handle nothing. He can't even handle some of women. Women busting his ass. He meets the right one. He gonna be crying. He gonna be praying and crying on live again because he cries on live all the time. So thank you, Miss Marianne. He said you're hilarious. To give respect. So he said, how could she have him on tour? And I know that SZA, like I was saying, she just welcomes happily ever after. She needs to have, discernment with some people that she has as friends. Truth be told, some of the people that she has as friends, some stuff she celebrates is like, because she's like a happily gullible ever after, and that's why she didn't know that Kendrick despised Drewski. Drewski doesn't like Kendrick, and at that BET award, he's looking at Kendrick was looking at Sister like, "What are you introducing me to these knuckleheads for? What the hell do I want to meet Kai Cenat for?" He's like, "Yo, what's up, boy?" That's why he "what's up, boyed" him because. But I digress. There's no way on heaven, earth, and the skies above that us knowing or SZA knowing that this guy is dangerous like that, she was just trying to give a kid a chance, and she was praising him and thanking his parents and everything on stage, and it was honestly wholesome that she gave him a chance to open for him and stuff. She didn't know, you get me? And she would not be putting somebody like that on tour, and that was 3 years ago before all this played out. So Academics has extreme poor taste, and like they're gonna get him. They're gonna, respectfully and not they're gonna get him. So he went off on that, um, and then he also went off. Get this. This is rich. You ready? He went off on the guy David, and analyzed. He was talking about him for a while, analyzing that. Oh, he was on stream with youngsters. What does that sound like? Academics. What does that sound like, you freaking idiot? What does that sound like? On stream with youngsters? Weren't you on stream with that boy? Talking nasty, reckless to a child? So he was talking about David was doing this and paying kids to stay quiet on the stream. Ditto, a pot calling the kettle sneaky. So it takes one to know one. Either way, so that is something that was going on, and we're like, whatever, Academic. This is why he's not a reliable source. Nobody cares. And as soon as his downfall is also happening, because when you associate and take money from Drake, he doesn't. And in true fashion, let me predict something. If Academics goes down, the second Academic goes down or has a serious falling out with Drake, he's gonna run a tell-all campaign. My prediction: he's gonna go tell it on the mountain and say all of Drake's secrets. The thing is, Drake feels, and I know what's going on, in my opinion, Drake feels that he has to keep this idiot on a payroll because it's like a ticking time bomb. And I bet you that he had, you know, threatened or said something about Drake, like, homie, I know all your business, or whatever the situation. It's my opinion. Because as soon as he gets pressed, he be taking people with him. It's like, if you're gonna throw him under the bus, he gonna take people with him. That's why he was admitting that he got paid 30K to react to some. He tells on himself. Kendrick is gonna watch all these downfalls because they're gonna take care of themselves. They're throwing their own garbage out. You understand? It's like, here they're helping Kendrick. They're helping Kendrick expose them. They're doing it themselves. They're doing a great job. Just like JCole, showing who he really is, and then went to play uh, with the, what is that thing called? That thing was one of the funniest things in the world. I had to write it down because it was funny. The name was disrespectful. Nanjing Monkey Kings. Now, if you break that down and analyze it, monkey, one monkey, kings. So all them Chinese people, listen, I go too deep, I suppose. But he went over there and scored 0 out of nothing, out of 5 or whatever. He was throwing the ball in the back of the freaking room, in the back of the basket. It's like Mr. Magoo was playing basketball. Like, that was so bad, and it was ironic that it was 7 minutes and something, a 7 minute drill, and then they sat his ass down, and all of a sudden he had visa problems. The jokes keep writing themselves. So he was like, I gotta go. I know I was supposed to play for 3 days, but I gotta go. Them Chinese, the Nanjing Monkey Kings, them Monkey Kings was pissed the hell off at that man. They were looking for. They probably threatened him in the lockers. Respectfully. But so that's what happens when they get exposed. They just keep going on to the next thing, the next embarrassing thing. um let's see what y'all saying. Academics needs to give respect to Kendrick's TD partner citizen. He needs to respect, because let me tell you, and this is a thing, isn't it funny, guys, that these people don't learn a thing. They don't learn a thing. Game saw what Kendrick did to Drake, and they don't learn a freaking thing. They're still talking about Kendrick trying to poke the freaking bear. It's like, oh, I want some. I want a career-ending tragedy. That's what I want. Please give it to me. And I hope Kendrick delivers in the most vicious, savage way possible. J. Cole is embarrassing to watch. This is the thing. When J. Cole came out and everybody was like, oh my God, he's so fine. I was one of the very few. When I tell you I was the extreme unpopular opinion, let me tell you how extreme I was. I said from the beginning, this dude, his face and his eyes look empty to me. And his smile seems so fake. And now the population and everybody, a lot of people are joining me in noticing how fake he looks. You see what y'all seeing now, or what some people seeing his fake ass laugh? I've been seeing that. And yeah, he got a couple little bangers, and he could rap or whatever. You know what I mean? Like Forbidden Fruit, what he did with Kendrick on that. Yeah, smooth, alright, cool. But that doesn't speak to my soul. I can't resonate with none of that. That's why I don't buy J. Cole's albums. I never downloaded anything J. Cole, because something about him just seemed real fake and real evil. And hey, now everybody's joining me and seeing what I've been seeing for years. So I was one of those people. I was like that with a lot of people. With Drake too, I was like, yeah, he got little songs, Keep Making Me Dance. He got little songs, but look what he turned out to be. All these people are broke as a joke. All these writers for him were not compensated, can't even afford their own surgeries, are working at fast food places respectfully. You get me what I'm saying? Because they didn't have to. They were talented. They were already working with a big star. So how the hell these people flipping burgers? And it's just tragedy. If you see how all these people ended up, the only success story was The Weeknd, that got out of there and lost half of his album to Drake, and had to make that decision. Either you keep the songs with Drake, or you stay with him and he signs you and become and shelves you, puts you on the shelf, and you would have not had a career. And he said, "F it, I will write other songs," and took the high road and met his success. This is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Stop it. Yeah. Um. Thank you so much. Scissor's not psychic to know that guy was going to be a mess. Yeah. And if y'all watch, I don't even want to put it on my channel because I don't want that dude's freaking energy on my channel. But if you watch the way she announced him, she was, oh my God, it was so wholesome. It would literally make you cry because she was like, "I want to give you a chance. You're so talented. God bless. Your mom is here, your dad." And she was just so happy for the family, saying, "Thank you so much for allowing him to step in. And she took care of him. He got paid well, and he got promoted. That's why his streaming numbers went up and his monthly listeners went up because he was attached to SZA. And even in an interview, they asked him after that. They were like, "What was the best moments in your career so far?" He's like, "I went on tour with SZA," and the interviewers didn't realize that and did it and were just in shock. So she did not know that. Um, Prediction is gonna happen. Thank you so much, Lizel. Um, Not mine as well. Me too. J Cole was embarrassing. J Cole is a disappointment. A disappointment. He could have listened. It's so sad to me that he could have literally been Kendrick's friend and been chilling with. And this is what I have to say. Had he stayed being Kendrick's friend, he would have been beyond successful today. He would have been appreciated, loved by all, and respected. And I'm not saying, oh, if you hang out with Kendrick, that's it. No, if you hang out with anyone that's authentic and real and has great intentions like Kendrick, and that's why the people that are in his circle are winning Grammys, are making their dreams come true, are creating so much abundance and generational wealth. Look at that guy Scott Bridgeway. He's a young guy and he's already created generational wealth. When that guy has kids, or I'm not sure if he has kids or whatever, they're not gonna have to work, because he's getting Grammys and he's not even 30 or whatever. He's not even 30, 40 or whatever. He's already picking up Grammys and living a dream life, because what does he do? You don't really see him in the news doing much except he dates or whatever. He's dating someone. He's in the studio. He's working like crazy. Like a little, they're all like mini Kendricks. All the people that surround themselves by Kendrick have to be like him, because like there's a saying, "Tell me who you hang out with and I'm gonna tell you who you are." I can't be in the same room with Drake for more than seconds, because I'm gonna probably just put him in a quick headlock and be like, "You son of a," But that's what I'm saying. So who can hang with him? People that are like him. That's why that is the games. That's his boyfriend. That's like his sweetheart. Drake is the love of his freaking life, because they're similar. They're all the same. They're all similar. All these you know glazers. Yeah, embarrassment. So that's what's happening. J. Cole's downfall. Watch. It's happening now. That people are like, "Oh, why is so many weird things happening?" It's called consequences and karma. That is their downfall. And Drake is gonna have the worst of them all, and everybody that's associated with Drake, because he wants to, and that's confirmation. He wants to learn the hardest of ways. So the next topic is G Malone. If you watch, and this way, some people might have a difference of opinion. We could respectfully disagree. But what happened was, Justin, the company man, had a Culture United um, panel. He had a Culture United panel, and um, he who was on that panel? It was two girls, like L and I think BK. I'm not K. I don't know what her name is. KB. I don't know what her name is. It was two girls and some dude there. And if you watch the video, I might upload it just for you to have a reference if you haven't seen it. But he went off. When I say he went off, he went off. He went off the deep end. Okay. Um, So this is what happened. They were talking about UMG and the Drake situation, and one of the girls, what is her name? BK. I don't know what her name is. It's not L. It's the other girl. She was like, she was like, I listen to Drake sometimes, reference or whatever. I listen to Drake and yeah. So and she was all, it was all cool in the gang. She was all laughing. And by the way, these people keep being booked for panels, and I don't resonate with a lot of them. They keep being booked for panels, and everybody keeps sweating them. And this is the thing. I could have reached out to people. I could have just been like, "Hey, can you be?" I'd rather not have collaborations until I find people that I resonate with. And when I have collaborations, it's probably gonna be epic. It's gonna continue to be good people, even if it's not the most famous people, but it's authentic, it's real, it's quality to me, and people that are, just real people, not fake, not these people that just want streams and just want they have an agenda, right? I've been saying this. I've been saying it. If you watch my previous live, I'm like, some of these people that you guys love, I'm not feeling. I told you I need a shirt that says I'm the unpopular opinion, because I'm the extreme unpopular opinion. I'm looking at their expressions, and maybe I could read people very well. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with these people? So then the girl, one of the girl, L, whatever, was saying like, I can't believe UMG, it's up there, and we have to, whatever, like we have to, depend or whatever. And Glasses Malone, by the way, was on that panel, and if you see him 20 minutes prior to that, or even 10 minutes before, he was heating. It was like he was cooking, and you could tell he was turning into a dragon, and he was about to break the hell loose. So he just spazzed the hell out. He had enough, and so did I, for that matter. I was like, so did I. So he just spazzed the hell out, and he said, let me see what he said. When she was like, I can't believe UMG, he said, you won't stand in the place of hip hop, so they have to. You're not standing in the place of hip hop, so they have to. He said, they when he started spazzing out and say, UMG, at least somebody's doing it. Where's the petition of us saying, of not listening to Drake's music? You over there sitting there listening to Drake's music, basically, is what he said. Like everything's sweet, like, pandering back and forth. You still giving him grace. And he went off to say, like, this man doesn't have hip hop in courts right now, which is gonna probably, if they make a law or some type of, if this thing goes south, we might not, hip hop will be, they're gonna try, remember, they try to end who we are and our art. They can't take away our art, but now they can. Now there's a possibility that they can. So there's no laughing matter here. There's nothing that is sweet about what Drake is doing. It's extremely dangerous. To just imagine, you were born in a country, and that's your music, and somebody's trying to take your music, somebody's trying to take your cultural food, somebody's trying to take, who you are as a people, and your customs and your traditions, right? That's exactly what's happening. Somebody else is going to dictate. Enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. America has already taken enough, right? This land ain't even ours. We're not even from here unless you're Native American, truth be told. You get me? So it's like we're gonna let people, and right now it got so bad because we keep letting people into the culture, celebrating. Oh, we just want to party and dance. Y'all let Drake be up in here way too long and way too comfortable. Once he started, everybody just want to party. That's all you want to party, and now we're paying for it. Now we're paying for it. You got to party the right way. You understand? So now we're paying for it. And that's why he spazzed out and he said, what do we have? What do we have? And it's a question to y'all, chat. Like, what do we actually have right now? UMG is literally, now it came to the point where UMG is like our last hope. Our last hope. And they're doing it selfishly, trying to defend themselves, granted. But we that's the only dog we have in this fight. We don't have anything else, um, we don't have anything else. So you get what I'm saying? Oh, I knew it. I knew it. You must be new to my channel, but it's all good. So UMG is trying to defend lyrics, defend the art form. Not that they're doing it authentically. They're not doing it authentically, but that's who is defending what Drake is trying to do in court. So that's all we have. You get me? And that's we have to see how this plays out. So people are still supporting Drake, still streaming his stuff, still listening to and still giving him grace. A lot of these content creators are still giving him grace in his rollout and praising that at least he's in the studio, at least he's doing this, at least he's doing that. And no, there's nothing to celebrate. There's nothing to celebrate. And what are we to do, guys? So what are we to do? And yes, Glasses Malone, a lot of people also saying like if he put that much energy into his career, because a lot of people saying, oh, he's a failed, this was going on Twitter. They're saying he's a failed rapper. He don't put that much energy into whatever. you know some people retire themselves. Some people don't want to rap anymore. And to be honest, I see him as a speaker. I see him as a revolutionary, me personally. I see him as saying some things that everybody is afraid to say, or a lot of people are afraid to say. So he's a revolutionary and he's speaking his mind. He's doing something, he's saying something. So whatever he decides, if he wants to put his energy into music, he can put his energy into music. Some people needed to retire from rap and some people don't. Some people, I wish they would retire from rapping. It's been their time, but they don't take a hint. They don't take it. They don't understand. If Drake wins all rap music, will be dance with blands and unimaginative, like no rhythm. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. If Drake wins this, do you understand how dangerous it's gonna be? Think about the most dangerous thing are stupid people. Those are the most dangerous people. Stupid people that will take this and do what they want with the culture. And then it's like we have to literally be careful. Any rapper or anybody expressing themselves has to really be careful what they say, because they're gonna end up in court, and there'll be already a ruling against speaking, against saying certain things. There's already going to be a ruling. Do you know what that's going to do when we don't have freedom of expression? And not just that, that's going to start a bigger war, because then we're going to go and point to rock and roll, heavy metal, country music. We're going to be like, what about them? What about, what I'm saying? What about that? What is it going to trickle down to jazz? What is it going to do? That's what I'm asking y'all. What do you think it's going to do? It's going to become beyond censored. We already have to deal with enough unseasoned things, right? And it's not going to have flavor. So all the stuff that they're going to, and it's not going to end there. If he has that win in court, it's not going to end there. He's going to continue to have more wins, and they're gonna dictate, oh, this is too much rhythm, or this is too whatever, this is an aggressive beat. It will not end. It will not end. It will not end. So this is extremely dangerous. Thank you so much. You're right. This is extremely dangerous, and I'm not the type of person to want to wait. Let me see what happens if he does win. I see the danger ahead. You understand? I'm taking the warning signs. This guy is extremely manipulative. It looks like it's all fun and game and he's stupid, but he's smart when it comes to trying to manipulate. He's not smart, but he is a master manipulator. That's all he does all day, is trying to manipulate. Now that the culture's not working for him, what did he do? He went, supporting, white music, or some other white people or whatever. And music is for everybody, respectfully. But he went to support people that are against, that are racist, and co-signing them. That's what he did. That's what he did. He went straight to co-signing them because the culture was no longer working for him. So we don't want to wait for that to happen. So you may feel how you feel, but we don't need bland music. Listen, what do you think music is gonna sound like when Drake, if Drake is in charge? If he don't have help from, I told you he was made in a lab. That's what I said. He was built. That was a persona that was completely built, fabricated artist. He was a completely 100% fabricated artist. We're gonna give him a team of stylists. We're gonna give him writers. We're gonna give him beats. He just has a voice. He could deliver it. That's it. That's what he brought. He has a little voice, and you know, he couldn't even rap. He couldn't freestyle. He couldn't do anything, and that's why it wasn't real. And people are like, oh, he don't really freestyle. To me, you're not a rapper if you can't freestyle. Like, that's supposed to be a gift, and when you have an authentic gift, it comes fast. Like, you can freestyle wherever you're at. You can come up with a rap. Um, so that's what's going on with that. So dangerous time. So we have to see what was happening. So with that, the next topic is this crazy complex 100 top 100 rappers. This list, this disturbing 100 um top 100 rappers list. It is outrageous. It's so outrageous that excuse me, I did my list, I did my research to find out who was all. I literally look up everyone that was responsible for that list. I looked them up one by one, and I saw and researched their background and what is like their best work. What are they? I did the research so you don't have to, and this will explain a lot. He doesn't have style or sweat. He has nothing. If we break him down to the core, he's some corny ass freaking idiot. He's like one of these kids that are dangerous because he wants revenge. He was bullied, made fun of. He doesn't even have a regional sound. What is he claiming? Because he doesn't have like, oh, I'm a Toronto regional sound artist. What is even that? Get me? He doesn't have that. It's like, where you from? Oh, I'm from, you know, North Carolina. That's my sound. I'm from the South. I'm from the Midwest. I'm from this. He doesn't have a regional sound. So it's like he was bullied, and he even said it. There's a video that I'm gonna put up, the difference, a side by side of what Kendrick said his growing up was all about. You know, like if he was popular in school, and it was he, you know, had a lot of friends, or did people used to like not like him, and do they like him now that he's famous? And wait till you hear what he had to say, because compared to Drake, and then Drake, there's a side by side with Drake, and they're asking him the same question, and Drake looked beyond disappointed, pissed off at all the people that made fun of him, like he wants war. He's trying to show them, like, look at you. He's on a mission. He's on an evil mission of revenge. That's what he's doing. It's like Pinky and the Brain. What are we gonna do today? The same thing we did yesterday. Try to take over the world. That's what he's trying to do. He definitely wants to take over the culture so he can just shred it up and be like, this is what I did for y'all. Because if Drake wins this lawsuit, he's not gonna, he don't care about the culture. He's gonna probably change genres or start singing how he wants to sing, and knows that he's gonna get the streams or whatever, and he's gonna turn his back on the culture. He just wants to destroy it. That's his goal. That's all he wants. He wants to throw it in the garbage, and once he throws it in the garbage, then it's like, okay, I'm done. I got back to your culture. Everybody will sue at the slightest thing, Miss Marianne. Absolutely, he doesn't have anything. Old Drake is dumb and corny. Yeah, just trash artist. Um, okay, let's see. Okay. So this is the complex list. The complex list is an embarrassment to hip hop, to rap. The top rappers, some people I haven't heard of, and I don't care for them, and there ain't no way in hell. So let's start with this list. Number one, the first disturbing thing, the first horrible thing is they have Meek Mill at 85. Just remember I said that. They have Meek Mill at 85. They have Nas at 69. Okay? Let me say it again. They have Meek Mill at 85 and Nas. More disturbing than that is that they have Nas at 69. And wait till you hear the people, and some of you have already seen it, that they have in a higher standard. They have the game at 70, okay? They have the game at 70. So they got the game and Nas like, okay, neck to neck. Okay, no problem. They put Lil Wayne at 64, and that's fine that he's even made it to the list. Thank you. they, it, so they have Jack Harlow before. They have Jack Harlow. What number is he? He's like 50 something. Let me say it again. They have Jack Harlow at 50 or 50 something, whatever he's on the list. Letting a whiny Canadian destroy 50 years of hip hop. Impossible. We cannot. We cannot. Jack Harlow, top 100 rappers. Let me see what number. What number they have this to. Thank you for the hearts. He's number 59. Oh, dear Lord. He's number 59. An outrage. So, okay. Nas at 69, and they have Jack Harlow. You know, the one that was like, I'm blacker. I'm getting blacker, right? Y'all gonna let this dude beat Nas? So because I'm gonna keep going with the list, because this is so disgusting and disgraceful, I literally research all of these people. And when you go on to your research as well and you see who they are, you're gonna see that you're gonna be like, oh, I know this dude. I didn't like the way he interviewed or whatever he said, or I know this girl. Okay, they got Ice Spice at 53. They got Ice Spice at 53. And they got Nas. They got Meek Mill at 85. They got Nas at 80 at 69. Okay, let me say it again for the people in the back. They got Ice Spice ahead of Nas at 53. They got Doja Cat 45. Lil Tecca, who the hell, 44. Meg the Stallion at 42. They got Meg before Nas, before these legends. And slapping, they try to slap people in the face, I guess. They got Malice at 41. Malice is at 41. They put Jid before Malice at 36. They put Young Thug at 35. They put Young Thug before Malice. Is that what are we even doing? They put Young Thug before Malice? Freaking that's why that list is obsolete to me. That doesn't exist. That's not acknowledgeable. That's just trash. Somebody was bored and some kids are playing games. That's how I'm seeing it. Because this cannot be respected. So Complex, man, you losing points by the second. Like that's not a respectable journalistic hip hop journalism. That's not. They put Glorilla. They put Pusha T at 34. They put Glorilla before Pusha T at 33. They put Glorilla before Pusha T. The fuck are y'all doing? And y'all don't need hands? That's what y'all telling me? Oh, the dude that called himself Vanilla Baby on one of his songs. Dallas, how you doing? Game ain't nowhere near Nas and Jack Harlow above Nas? Ice Spice making the list ahead of Nas? That's what I'm saying. This list, let's look at Complex as another joke. And when I tell you, I'm going to tell you right after this list, I'm going to tell you who these people are that put this list together and what they have done and what they have praised in the past. And then you'll understand where they're coming from. And not just because some of them are white that decided this list. Okay? Some of them are white. Okay? Let's see. Let's just see. Okay, cool. They put Central C at 31 before Malice. That's what they do. Okay? They put the baby before Malice, before Pusha T. They put Sexy Red before Malice, before Pusha T, before Nas, before Meek Mill. They put freaking Sexy Red at 27. What is that like? What is that? What do you eat that with? What is that? What is even that? Sexy Red. First of all, the fact that Sexy Red was even accepted into what, you know what we need to do? Like I said, we need to hit people's pockets. Don't stream. Let them have no sales, no nothing. Boom. Get the hell out of the cookout. Get the hell out of the cookout. That's why a lot of these, let me tell you, it is heartbreaking for me to see some of these content creators that I rocked with. I was like, I was watching some of this stuff like, he cooking, he cooking. The discernment, our discernment is way higher. That's, if you're disappointment, that means you're intelligence. Because these people that we looked up to, they're having these panels and having these people that are not even for the culture. That is obvious that they go back and forth, pander. The same, they're talking about pandering and they're pandering. You get me? And that shows you, if you're disappointed, you have a higher, integrity when it comes to certain things. Because, yeah, Curtis King called the list rage bait, guaranteed to upset true rap fans. That's what they're doing. And that's why we got to ignore it. So you have to hit people in their pockets. Remember back when, black people united and got together and said, you know what? We're gonna have our own form of transportation. We're not gonna ride these buses. We not, when they boycott buses and things like that, you hit people where it hurts, because a narcissistic, demonic entities, they don't care about nothing but making money. So hit them where it hurts. Don't stream this. Don't support it. Don't be, just hit them. Let them dry their pockets dry out, because that's the only way. Same thing, with these things. And it's sad because, you know the same companies and companies and stuff, at one point or another, they get things right or whatever they're trying to, but now I don't know what it's turned to. The list is just, yeah, I'm trying not to laugh nor become angry. Right, they put Glorilla and Sexy Red. They put Little Yachty. They put Little Yachty even before everybody else. They put Little Yachty at 25. I'm going backwards, friends. And 21 Non-Savage, they put him at 22. Hey, you know, they put Lotto at 20. What the hell they put Lotto at? 20? 20. It doesn't matter. They put Lotto before little. They put Lotto before little. All these littles. the Pusha T. They put Lotto before Pusha T. And Malice. Malice is a lyricist. They put, They put Dolce at 20, Tyler the Creator at 18, ASAP Rocky at 17. They put Playboy Cardi at 16. They put Pooh Shiesty at 15. They put Future at 13. Little Uzi Vert at 12. They put Cardi B, respectfully, they put Cardi B before Malice? Before Nas? And Cardi B will probably disagree with this list and be like, I ain't before Nas, because she tends to be honest sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And that's the part that sometimes that is kind of likable about her, because she be like, man, I ain't, because she likes to give credit and bring all these, legends and all these OGs on stage and stuff. I think she will disagree with this list. I think she will disagree with her place at Cardi B at 11 and Nas at 89. And I'll tell you what they based the list on too. Travis, Jay-Z, they put Kanye at 9, which I know he's furious about, and they put Jay-Z at 8. They put Travis Scott at 7. Don Toliver at 6. They put Yeet at 5. Young Boy Never Broke, whatever the hell. They put him at 4. Then they put our boy Kendrick at 3. They put Kendrick at 3. He moved the needle and broke the needle and pushed the culture and moved everything. He moved and shook up the planet. And they put him at 3. And then they had the nerve to say, under the explanation for each one, they said he dismantled Drake. They literally said that. When you look at it, you look it up. He dismantled the dismantling of Drake and at the rap battle, and like excusing, like they're doing us a favor by putting him at 3 and putting J. Well, let me keep going. They put Drake at 2, so I'm sure Drake is pissed the hell off. They put Drake at 2, and they put J. Cole as number 1. J. Folds. That's who they. Oh no, J. Folds. Yes, yes, J. Folds. Yeah, you can't stand on business. You're searching for a career. You're searching for the meaning of life. You're in the center of the earth with a bicycle, riding around aimlessly. Yeah, you hate the culture. Sounds fantastic. That's who they put at number 1. And what the hell did they say about J. Cole being at number 1? The Fallout debuted with 280,000. So fantastic. And that's all they said. They didn't really say much. You know, they didn't really say much. Let me see what y'all saying. Oh, try not to laugh or cry. Miss Marianne said the recent compliments gave for the list made no sense. Yeah, the list makes no goddamn sense. Um, Edward said. So Kendrick had the most influence, the chart topping, the most numbers, because try to sell out a stadium and then meet me for a conversation. Go sell out almost 50 stadiums. Yeah, we said 50 stadiums. Go sell out, because you got to be better than him then. Go sell out 50 stadiums, because remember, you could get a Happy Meal or you could get a Drake concert ticket. Drake had to cancel his concerts, and they were $30. I saw a ticket for $28. So you could get a Happy Meal. Most people chose a Happy Meal from McDonald's, which is a product, and we're still trying to figure out if it's really even food. Some of the stuff, yeah, the fries, decent and stuff, but you get me. So, but this is their reason. What did they say? The list, I quote. This is a quote. Exactly. Yeah, he said, the list is not based on musical or lyrical quality. First thing they said, because they knew, I'll pick a Happy Meal. I'll take my chances. We all gotta go somehow, right? I'll pick the product. I'll pick the product, and the CEO's like tasting the hamburger, the Big Mac, like, oh, if I die, it's your fault, you know. And then he was like, he put it down immediately, like that thing was radioactive, and said, "This is a good product." And he may as well say, "Can you lift up the cue card? I need to read what it says." You know. He put that thing down and probably took a break to wash his hands. That thing is radioactive, my guy. He had the best Grand National, so I pick a Happy Meal. That's what we're doing. That's crazy, crazy. So they said, let me say it again. The list is not based on musical or lyrical quality, but then you want to call it top best rappers, the top 100 rappers. It's just on cultural impact, which that's the antithesis of what they just said. If it's based on cultural, they don't even know what cultural is. So anybody can be a complex music editor, and you get a music edit, and you get a music editor job, and you get look under your seat, folks. You may have a musical editing job at Complex, because it takes a brain full of popcorn, and I no disrespect to popcorn, or just like being dead inside. So the editorial staff, so these are the heavy hitters that picked this stuff. The first one was someone named Jordan Rose. Okay, we're shouting out these culprits. Jordan Rose loves Drake, is in love with Drake, and he probably was disappointed that Drake didn't make the number one list on the number one on the list. He said Drake raps like he has a point to prove. That's his direct quote. Okay, that's the first idiot. The second one is Antonio John Johi, or whatever the heck. And he was praising JCole for selling his stuff out of the trunk, and praising JCole for washing a car in the Honda situation. He's a JCole praiser. Okay, let's go with the next one. Brianna Walker. And sometimes, and y'all might disagree. Like I said, these might be your people. Her pride and joy was interviewing Kim Kardashian. She was so happy. It was the epitome of her life. If you watch her Facebook, that's what her pride and joy is. She's so grateful for the opportunity. So these are the people that made the list. We keep going, okay? Who else? Um, Will Will Shulk or whatever his name is, white, but he doesn't. He supports Drake. He likes Drake, or he interviewed and talked about him a lot. Then we have uh, Demi Scene in Man. Demi Scene in Man. She let me see. She put Drewski as most innovative person in the last year. Drewski as most innovative person, and Joe Button as the best podcast that ever was. That's what they voted on the best. They did a. This is an article that they wrote, another article, and another list that they made. So these are. This is the Mean C Inman, one of the people. Um, let's see. What did Kiana Fitzgerald, white, and has done art. Did that article where she helped name Drewski as a top innovator, and Joe Button as the best podcast. Um, and by the way, Will Schultz, I don't know how to say his name. He put Young Thug as best. As like he had him on a list. He did another article where he had Young Thug as like one of the best rappers ever. He did another interview or another article situation. Um, okay. By the way, what's her name? Kiana Fitzgerald loves Rory and Mal's podcast as well. Honorable mention. They thought it was one of the best podcasts in their article. That's on Complex right now. Okay, so this is their editorial staff. Who are we missing? John Barlas. What? So, like I said, some of these people, they have been supporting. They don't care about the list. They don't care about the culture, and not that. And then some people that are from different countries or different ethnicities or whatever, they understand and respect rap, but these people ain't it. So that was the list, and these were the fools that created that list. But I digress. Grand National Tour just broke the record generating. Yeah, I have to see what the numbers are. I have to see what the numbers are. So these are some of the things. So when you're looking at people saying stuff, you gotta use your discernment. You gotta see, you have to accept the fact that you cannot give credit to these people. You can't take certain things seriously. When people try to dictate, we have to make our own list. And when you see stuff like that, okay, so let's make our own list. And we can make it viral. We can make our own list, or another, reliable source can make our own list. So we ignore lists like that because that doesn't mean anything. Because even Billboard, who has praised Kendrick and everything, they a lot of times will make some weird accolades and say that Drake is the best or the most streams. We can't even listen to a lot of these things, and a lot of them are false. A lot of them are false because when I go through up, yeah, it is outrageous. So I had to research these people because, and when you see them, if you're the type of person that could read people and their energy, when you see their faces, if you Google them, or just Google who made the list, a complex, and these names that I talked about will come up, and just hit images and see their faces. Because when you see their faces, you're gonna be like, oh, she not for us. Because there was only like 2 or 3 black people on that panel, by the way. It was like 8 people, whatever. And they are empty. They're empty. They're soulless. They just have the color and they don't have nothing else. Because if your mission in life is to talk to your best moment is to interview Kim Kardashian about some nonsense. It was like stupid stuff. It was not nothing, that contributed to society and to elevate, to do nothing. It was nothing. These are the people that they praise, and they thought Rory and Mal had one of the best podcasts ever. Okay, that's who they are. So of course we can't listen to these things. Don't take these things serious. Don't support them, etc. So, in other news, now the light. Let me see. Yes, the semi. Let me make sure I have everything. The lighthearted. You know how when you watch the news, it's like 50 people die, all this stuff, devastation, agony, and defeat, and then, but a cat can say "mama," and they end the podcast. They end the news like with like what seems to be lighthearted stuff. It is crazy. It is crazy. But so okay, so Kendrick was at Disney. So let's talk about other things. So we have a few more topics. Kendrick was at Disney, and he was spotted. Kendrick spotted is almost like the scariest phrase. It's almost like Kendrick dropped. Kendrick dropped. It's like this is what I'm saying. Kendrick moves the culture. A lot of people go to different. There's a bunch of celebrities that were at Disney. There was a bunch of people, and nobody has that care. Nobody, even Drake's fans are obsessed with Kendrick. They're obsessed because they be in those comments, like Kendrick. They be even in my comments, and oh, Kendrick was spotted. They go on it to hate, right? But they're engaging like crazy. They love to fight back and forth with a Kendrick fan, with a K bot, right? They love to go back and forth and argue. They love it. So they love to engage. It's like a weird obsession, which is it's the funniest thing. So they were talking about Whitney like crazy. Um, they were saying all kinds of stuff when he was spotted, and poor guy, he was. I know it was hot as hell. It was hotter than your grandma's kitchen up in Disney, and he had a mask. He was okay for most of the day. He had passed thousands of people. He was okay. Was it like almost at the end when he was leaving that they finally discovered that your boy was covered up? He had a hat, the bucket hat, the black hat. He was all in black and stuff. But the security, and by the way, he couldn't use the same security for the people that was like, wait, what happened to Big Mo? What happened to whatever? They might have been there, but they weren't, at the park. It was like some Caucasians, some other security guards that weren't his regular, because we're going to recognize those guys. Those guys are also recognizable. But also, what gave it away is the kids. People know what the kids look like, and he was walking around with like four major security guards and a tour guide, and it just looked real VIP. Like if for if you saw it, you probably would have been like, wait, I think my community would have recognized Kendrick. I don't know who those people are that he was there all day. I know, I'll be like, he smells nice. This is Kendrick. I would have seen, like, I would have seen, so he went out, and that was Coachella that was going on, and the Clips did a great job at Coachella, their performance, but Kendrick chose to be with his kids, his family, and I like that he was pushing the stroller, because it's like, no, I'm hardly here, so let me do the daddy duties that I'm supposed to do. I have to push my kid stroller. I have to change diapers. I have to do whatever I gotta do. So he's hands on. He's hands on. So people recognize him, and then hell broke loose. And right after they recognize him, he exited. Like, you didn't hardly see him when people started like filming. You didn't. He disappeared. Poof, he disappeared. So they were talking. Yeah, they were talking crazy. I don't really want to get into so much of the stuff they were talking about. They couldn't. A lot of people didn't recognize Whitney, because she looked. She they were just in the park or whatever, and just, a lot of people were like, is that Whitney? So they were talking about that online like crazy. But It is what it is. He, you know, enjoyed his day. He tried to enjoy his time, and he's doing, you know, nice things to for the family, and he wants to go out. It must be a hell of a thing to be famous, because Kendrick doesn't like the fame part of it. He wants to have a normal time. I know he misses the times when he first came out, that he could just be in the park or working out. Now it's pandemonium. Now it's mayhem. He can no longer do the stuff that he used to do. He can't. He absolutely can't. Because people will recognize him after a while. So he misses that. I know he does. Um, there is new music for Kendrick. There's more. I'm gonna upload some more stuff. Like there's been little snippets and stuff, and Soundwave has put out a few things, you know, just little tiny snippets. But I know that he's working on something serious. I know he's cooking. And if you watch the video that I've uploaded saying that Kendrick, you know, is dropping new music, I don't know that he's going to drop when Drake drops, but I know he has something. And also remember, guys, that they said he's going to be busy touring. Last year, there's a movie that he was working on called Whitney Springs or something like that. Um, and he can finish the movie. He couldn't finish the movie last year or this year because they said that he was going to be on tour. Now, it could be on tour with Baby Keem, but it could be his own tour. So that was the reason why he had to pause working on the movie. Kendrick is super busy. And speaking of Baby Keem, he's been selling out. His mosh pits are very crazy and aggressive. These people, these guys are like shirtless and they're going bonkers. I'm glad no one has gotten hurt that bad yet, you know, or they're not. And I do believe that Kendrick is going to pop out on you know, at the LA stop for Baby Keem. I think so. I mean, it's something expected and kind of logical. So I think that he is going to be coming out at, you know, in LA for Baby Keem, or in New York. He might come out in New York as well. So, or in another city, you know. I'm not sure he or Vegas or whatever, but he just look out for that. There's a lot also going on in June. Domani is currently on tour. We talked about Domani and that new song that he has, Telephone. Thanks for the views on that. You know, you guys support him. He's very talented, very deep, very introspective, very spiritual. He's different. He's totally different. He's the best rapper in that family, in my opinion. So he added more dates because the fans requested it. They have a podcast too, so he has been on Ti's podcast. Ti's a lot of people doing podcasts because they make a lot of money with podcasts. So they're trying to, you know, make control the money, and that's, you know, entrepreneur and generational wealth. So it is what it is. What else do we have? We have all of these TD, you know, there's new music I think with SZA and who else? Yeah, SZA has new music. SZA's been working with Steve Lacy and Zay. So like they have a new song coming out. Also, all of TD, it seems like J Rock has been in the studio, and they keep teasing little songs and them being in the studio. Absol has been in the studio. Um, you see, Schoolboy Q has been really working out like crazy, right? Check out Schoolboy Q in the video that I uploaded. He looks phenomenal. He looks phenomenal. So I hope all of them are working. They look like they're working out. So to me, it seems like they're preparing for something. So, and that's probably our wishful thinking, but they're going ham. They're and especially Schoolboy Q looks like he's, you know, conditioning his wind. Like he's going crazy. He puts gym videos from time to time, but it looks like he's absolutely training, like he's going crazy, training. Um, so I feel like there's something going on, that they're putting out. I feel like, yeah, there's something seriously going on, or that I don't know. What do y'all think as far as that? Like, do you think that Kendrick is about to drop new music? Dave Free has also been hinting for a while, and I know that the hints were not just about Baby King. The hints were not, because Dave Free had reposted that glove when Kendrick was at the Grammys, and he had that the hand bandaged up like a boxer's glove. So, they have been doing that. They have been putting that out. So there's something cooking. I'll keep you guys informed. Anything that I find out. And thank you again for like just all the views and everything that you guys have been doing. There is also a lot of other going on, a lot of other things. The game is still popping off at the mouth and talking about his loyalty to Drake. He's still talking about that. What else is going on? Yeah, Drake's fans are pretty much they are deranged. They're going crazy, doing everything. They're doing the most, but it doesn't even matter. A lot of people still hating on Kendrick for just jealousy. Uh, Jim Jones. A lot of people just still saying a bunch of stuff, so it doesn't, even matter. Kendrick has to know that he cannot count on these people, and I don't think he's making up with these people. So a lot of people that still think, oh, they're gonna kiss and make up. I don't think so, because you cannot trust people that defame you so badly. Their parasocial activities, parasocial fans. They're just going crazy. Um, what else happened? Whack 100 was crashing out also, but I'm like, I don't even care. I don't know. I don't feel like I could trust him anyways. Whack 100 was on No Jumper. I don't know why these people support No Jumper either. Um, so there's a bunch of false narratives, that are they're trying to break down or just destroy Kendrick's everything, legacy, they're trying to beat his record. They can't. They can't compare haters. But it is what it is. He is still gonna rise. So he's still gonna rise. TDE and PG Lang have been taken over. So just to let you know, yeah, Isaiah Rashad's music dropped, and has a song, I think, with SZA. I'll put that. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, let me just make sure. Yeah, I hope you guys can hear me. Yeah, so yeah, they are down bad. Kendrick's being silent. Kendrick is being silent right now. What do you think that Kendrick is doing? What do y'all think? Okay, thank you so much. What do y'all think that Kendrick is doing? Kendrick has been silent. This is my opinion. You guys tell me what you think. First of all, Kendrick is a planner. When you saw him at the game after the GNX tour, that he was spotted at a game just chilling with his headphones. This dude, think about what's on his responsibility on his plate. He might be working on FIFA, the World Cup. He has big fish to fry. He doesn't have time to entertain these idiots and these low lives and these freaking entities and losers, right? These people's energies are demonic. They're jealous, and jealousy is very dangerous. So I know that he's gonna take precautions and be careful, because there's a lot of jealousy with Kendrick. A lot. A lot of people that looked up to him, like he could count on one hand all the friends that he can truly count on, and can, his crew, thank goodness his crew is still intact, and they still support each other. um I think he's planning. I think he's working on some great surprises. I think we need to brace ourselves and get ready, because he's about to show out and show up and pop out, in different arenas, in different areas. Not just with Baby Keem, but I think he's about to he's working on something major to me. I feel like he's working on something major, massive. When you see that Kendrick is quiet, just like, check out that video that I put with Terrence Martin describing Kendrick as Coltrane, um, and Tupac. You know, that is a perfect description because um, uh, they both were thinkers and they both get quiet at times. I know that Tupac was more outgoing, more verbal, but when Kendrick is quiet, those are like the genius people that keep analyzing, keep studying, and keep planning. So I know he's working on something absolutely massive. The rumor is that Kendrick's doing something with FIFA 2026. Yeah, Olympics. Yeah, yeah. I was talking about that. Yeah, he's. Imagine that. Imagine that. If Baby Keem has the halftime show over Kendrick, do you know how much planning it takes to get that together? Just imagine. A halftime show has never been done. I know that there's rumors also of Pink being a part of it or whatever. So they're trying to have a halftime show for the first time at the World Cup. So they're treating it like a Super Bowl. They're gonna see how it goes and everything. And if they pick Kendrick and Baby Keem, which they have been working with them for a while. And now Baby Keem has that Adidas sponsorship also to make the and they made the jerseys for the game to begin with. So they have a very locked in connection with the World Cup and FIFA. So I believe I put that video up also that he's working on that. But I also know he's working on music. He doesn't stop working on music. So he is definitely, and I feel again, and I may be wrong, but I feel like he's working on his own music as well, or Black Hippie. There's something definitely brewing and cooking because they won't stop posting things, and they won't stop, you know, just doing snippets and they're doing different kind of snippets also. So just keep up with me, when I post all the snippets and different things that they are putting up. It may not make sense, but I'm just following what they're posting and what they're giving me. I think he's planning to do a halftime show. Yes, they're planning on doing a halftime show. So I think the connection is possible because Kendrick loves soccer. Kendrick loves soccer. You saw that video that I put up. Kendrick has been a soccer aficionado for a while. And he even when he opened up his company, his commercial was had something to do with soccer. His very first commercials for PG Lang, now we that's why I connected that first PG Lang advertisement or commercial, and to soccer because he put soccer in there and everything. So he's been throwing some like a little hints for years. Kendrick has been throwing hints for years. He loves soccer anyway. So um and he works for global, like they work with Global Citizen, that company that does the World Cup. So they've had a partnership for a really long time. They've worked on several things and several projects. Let's see what y'all think. Is working on FIFA. Yeah, everybody agrees that he's working on FIFA. Um, Perform their songs on tour. Yeah, and it's funny because it's like FIFA's coming to MetLife also, and I think they're going to LA. Um, so they're gonna be back. So Kendrick is gonna be back with Baby Keem. How ironic if they're doing this back to MetLife, which is where Baby Keem rose again from the dead. When people were like, "Where's Baby Keem? Did he die? Who's hiding Baby Keem?" And it was a whole hysteria, and that's where he popped out. So they're going back. I think it's ironic that that's one of the stops. Kendrick was spotted at Argentina, Nigeria World Cup. Yeah, he's been spotted everywhere. And, even if he tries to keep a low key, and, he has double, triple residencies. He has a residency in New York, in Brooklyn, and he has, residency in LA. So he could just be anywhere. But when there is something going on in LA, 9 times out of 10, he'll pop out if he supports the artist, just like he did with the Clips or Playboy Cardi. Yeah, he keeps doing that. So I assume that when Baby Keem, when is Baby Keem going to LA? Hold on, let me see Baby Keem's schedule for y'all. Y'all probably seen it. Baby Keem dates, 2026. Baby Keem has a very busy schedule and he likes it. He seems to be enjoying his tour. Um, tour dates. Yeah, and he be turning up in that tour. He's like, you know what we came for? He be wilding in that tour. He's pretty much, he's gonna be in Vegas. Oh wow, he's gonna be in Vegas Friday. He's gonna be in Vegas. Houston, April 27th, tomorrow. In Dallas. Huh. Shout out to Miss Texas. He's gonna be in Dallas Tuesday. And in Vegas, he's bringing it to Vegas. That Vegas show is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be at the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas. Phoenix, Arizona. California is gonna be May 8th. May 8th, at 8:30, San Diego, California. Oakland is gonna be May 11th for Oakland. Um, and then he has 2 nights. I don't know if he added a third show. Let me go on his let me go on his thing because they oh, yeah, let me go on his thing, okay, on his official website because um okay, so yeah, he's gonna be in Vegas, Los Angeles, LA has 2 dates. They have 2 dates for him. Um he's gonna be in Seattle, he's gonna be in Minneapolis, um Indianapolis, Detroit, Washington. He's gonna be in at the Governor's Ball June 5th. He's gonna be in Philly June 3rd. Yeah, June 3rd. He's gonna be in Brooklyn June 4th. So Kendrick might do the Brooklyn thing and also the Governor's Ball. So they might team up there. He's going to Europe also. He's going to some of the cities that Kendrick went to: Glasgow, Birmingham, London, Amsterdam. You know Amsterdam's gonna be crazy. Amsterdam was y'all voted Amsterdam as one of the craziest mosh pits for Family Matters. So I mean Family Ties. I keep saying Family Ties. And so that's gonna be crazy. When Baby Keem hits Europe, it's gonna be crazy. And I think these are still arenas. This is an arena tour, so it's about to be nuts. Let's see what y'all saying. Those MetLife tickets for the World Cup are there. Yeah, it's like the cheap seats are like 2-3 thousand. Like the cheap seats. The cheap seats are no wait. Let me see. Yeah, the cheap seats. Those tickets were 6 figures for nosebleed. Oh God, never mind. Nope, they're more expensive than I thought. Yeah, MetLife. Goodness gracious, what are they even talking? Oh God, FIFA, what? Lord have mercy. Okay, June 13th. Let me see. Let me just see what they're talking about. View tickets. This is yeah, yeah. It's like there's some. I know this is like beyond nosebleed to a point where you're like almost in the parking lot. It's like 2 G's. It's 2 G's. 6 figures. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that they were 6. Yeah, some of them were. The tickets that I'm seeing, and they're selling fast are like 1,500 for, I don't know what row that is, up to like 5,000. There's of course court side lower is 30,000. There's some tickets for 30. I can't even look at this. This is hurting my feelings. Like yeah, some of the seats are absolutely crazy. Amsterdam is gonna go nuts because Baby King's mosh pits are looking insane. I'm like, yo, they're gonna get hurt. It's not normal mosh pits. Like Kendrick's mosh pits were amazing, was crazy, was fun. But you have to understand. This is what I wanted to explain. When you're in a stadium tour like Kendrick, there's way more space and it's huge. And I think honestly, I really think that Baby Keem could have probably sold out a stadium, but they're being reasonable because he's starting his career, so they're being very sensible. But all of these things are like jam packed. They're too packed actually. A lot of the places, a lot of Baby Keem's arenas have been like. It just looks like there's no breathing room. And he was like, if y'all don't know what to do, then y'all need to go to the back because they're just going crazy. And that's why Kendrick's mosh pits were a little bit safer because it was in a big stadium and there was way more space in the barricades. What they call in Europe and in um, some of the Spanish countries, they were like in the barricades. They clear out the whole bottom part, the whole floor section was cleared out. Baby Keem will bring out Kendrick in LA just when clips. This is what I'm saying. Kendrick acts has his reasons for his choices, and he acts sporadic, and sometimes we can't keep track of him, or he does things that make no sense. Like, or for example, I literally thought Black Hippie was gonna pop out at the concert, and hold on a second, and he didn't bring all of them, and there has to be a reason, and I know there's a reason, and there's probably legalities why he couldn't bring them, but um we really expect it because SZA in the GNX tour brought out a bunch of people. She brought Kid Renata, she brought Lizzo for no apparent reason. That was a hot ziggity mess. That was terrible, absolutely terrible performance. Sorry, but it was. I was like, what the hell? She brought out Justin Bieber. She brought out a bunch of people. Doja Cat. She just kept bringing people out, and it took heaven and earth and the skies above for AZ Chike to convince Kendrick to put him on, like at the LA show. I really, like I said, he has his reasons, and his reasons are, I'm sure he wanted to or whatever, but there must be some legalities why, or Absol might have not been ready, or I don't know. But I'm glad he had Schoolboy Q, and I don't know what happened with J Rock. But they still supported him, and they still support him. So yeah, Amsterdam and these shows, Glasgow was crazy for Kendrick. That was one of the best footage ever um, that I have. And Birmingham was insane. And London, you remember London? London had the best like they had the best what was it, like pop-up shop for Kendrick. They took the freaking GNX and did a pop-up shop in the best, just the best pop-up shop for Kendrick. They were different. Their store was fantastic. The merch, they had an actual store with mannequins. They had their stuff together. So he picked only a few European cities. Zurich, let's see, Paris. Oh, he's going to Paris. Berlin, Cologne. Oh, Cologne, Germany. Oh boy, that was another one. I don't know which one was crazier, Amsterdam or Cologne. That was crazy. He's going to London too, twice. And the Bay Area. When he goes to San Fran, boy, that thing's gonna be nuts. So this tour is about to get crazier. So but yeah, so he's doing those things. I hoped that he comes out again. Let me just say, June, LA for Baby Keem is coming up very soon. It's coming up May 1st, in a week or less than a week. um Reunion concert sell out so quick. A Black Hippie reunion concert is gonna sell out quick too, and they've been preparing, by the way, a reunion kind of tour. I know they're celebrating, and they've been celebrating their reunion. It's like a reunion thing and their anniversary. So that's another thing that's actually happening. Thank you, Miss Lachelle. Yes, they've been preparing that, and that's what the J Rock footage that I just uploaded last week. about him talking about the black hippie, and he's like, y'all making me sick about that. He's like, oh, I'm exhausted about it. But he said we are working on the reunion tour. They've been talking about it. I hope they get it together. But the LA for Baby Keem, Vegas is May 1st. LA is May 3rd and 4th. And then he's going back to the Bay Area. He's going to the Bay Area August, or in August. He's gonna go back to California. That's gonna be all over the place. He's gonna be all over the place. But that then September 1st, no, August 29th, London, August 31st, Cologne, September 1st, Berlin, September 3rd, Paris, Zurich, Amsterdam, September 6th, Zurich, September 8th, Amsterdam. Nuts. September 11th, Manchester, Glasgow, September 14th, September 16th, Birmingham, and September 18th, the last day of the tour, September 18th, London. London, crazy, crazy. And he's going to Canada, by the way. He's going to Canada for 2 nights, May 31st and June 1st. Yeah, and one is sold out already. Montreal, yeah, he's it's sold out. He wanted the tour to start. He was getting bored, so hey, I know he's tired, but he's having fun. So Black Hippie reunion is definitely on the works. I think so. And that will sell out quick. This is what I say. We have to have in case the boogeyman pops out, jar or savings, because there's once he pops out, it all goes fast, and it's gonna keep after this tour that he went on. Things are gonna sell out like crazy because Baby Keem stuff was selling out disrespectfully fast. Like it was just crazy. It was like hardly any time. Like I couldn't even get tickets for any hardly when he popped out. I it sold out in minutes for the New York pop up that he had. Little surprise concert, and even for the LA stuff, they had invited a few people, but it stood no chance because they only had a few people. So I don't know. Edward said, I don't know if Baby Keem will bring out Kendrick in LA when. Yeah, we don't know. And then Mr. Shell said, yeah, but he said, going to be nuts. Keem is going this Drake just like his cousin. Yeah, Keem has a terrible history with Drake. Drake got pissed off once he found out. He didn't know. Drake didn't know that Kendrick was his cousin, and they had formed some type of a friendship, and I use that term loosely. But Drake disrespected Keem and kind of DM his girl. That's his finishing move. That's what he always does, and that's why Baby Keem keeps talking about that, saying how that girl or whatever people were disloyal. And I don't know if he did it more than once too. I know it happened. So, and then he told Drake that he was related to Kendrick, and the friendship had already ended. Then he didn't want nothing to do. He didn't answer any phone calls, any whatever. And Baby Keem shouldn't even be mixing and mingling with Drake, and he don't want nothing to do with him. But anyways, thank you everybody for being here. That's what we have for today. That was a lot. Like these people don't stop. I don't want to take up too much, of your time. Your presence is a present. Thank you for your subscription. Thank you for that thing went viral, guys. You guys like that Remy Ma stuff? 300K views, boy. Both part one and part two. Thank you for your support. Any suggestions, anything that you guys would like to see, let me know. I sometimes pause the comments on some of the things because it's too many comments. It's too many. When it's like viral, I just put the comments on subscribers only. So if you subscribe or a member, you can comment because it's literally too much. The comments were coming in crazy for that Remy Ma thing. 300K. I was like, what the hell? 300K. And as always, I'm gonna try to go live more often. I'm trying my best. I have so much to do. I'm so exhausted. Like, but I my wish is to be able to just go live 2 or 3 times as things happen. I'm going to try to do it as things happen. I'm trying. you know, hit the like button. Thank you so much. Um, Support the channel. Hype it if you can hype it. It's up to YouTube if they can hype it. I have more stuff. I try to put up. There was so many things that got blocked that I try to put up for the members. I know I'm feeding the members. I'm putting stuff up, so I'm glad I was able to put things. I'm putting more things, but there's so many things that keep getting blocked. I'm like, oh my god. But just enjoy the stuff that. Just know when I put an unreleased track, excuse me, when I put an unreleased track, that means I try to send y'all like 4 or 5, and they just accepted like 2, and it's like I reduce it to a minute, less than a minute. It's completely blocked, and I don't want to, get, you know what, from YouTube. So I'm like, it's exhausting. I upload more than y'all see because I prepare these videos and I upload. It's like block, block, block. So then I'm only allowed to. I'm only successful with like 3 or 4 or 5 videos sometimes a day because the stuff that I want to put is very, very exclusive. And thank you, Miss Marianne. I liked your comment when you were. Thank you for the floating hearts. Thank you, Miss Marianne, for the floating hearts. And I like your comment where you were like, wait a minute, I don't know who are you connected to. Like, for the first time, you were like doubting it or whatever. And I was speaking to uh, Kendrick's bodyguard today or whatever for a brief moment. It's great, It's just digital, but it's still good. Like I'd just be surprised that they even can see my, you know, can interact with me, see the message or whatever, and they like answering, so that's good. And thank you, and I appreciate, just all the videos and stuff that I am able to have access to. I have so much stuff, um, and just enjoy. Let me know what else y'all want to see. Some of it is silly. Some of it, when it's like too weird or whatever, I'm putting it in the members. They can handle it. Thank you for your funny comments and for just everything. And I know I'll be like all over the place. It always says new video, sensitive savage. It says new video all the time. I know, cause it's like I just be looking at the homepage and it just, you know. But hey, thank you for all the new subscribers, the new 700 subscribers. Lord have mercy. Where am I up to? 12.7K. This thing cooking. This thing popping. Thank you again. And for people that resonate, we only had to remove one person. I only had to block one person from this live. I gotta say it was a good day. Didn't even have to use my AK. I gotta say it was a good day. So, nah, but all jokes aside, thank you. Y'all are some funny mofos. I appreciate y'all. And thank you for interacting. And we'll see you soon. And I'll put some footage of some of the concerts that I've been going to. I'll put it up. It's just so much. I need somebody to help me upload. Like, I wish one of y'all live nearby. Be like, all right, I'll teach you what I'm doing. And let me know, members, if you want to see a video of how I edit. That might be boring for y'all. Just give me the video. I don't want to see the process. But let me know if y'all want that. I'll show y'all how I do stuff and how I think. That should be a training course that I sell. I'll probably think about that. Yeah, just keep flipping the money. But thank you again for being here. I'll see you guys soon. And yeah, it's about to pop off in the summer. Like the next few weeks, there's a ton of concerts going on. So, um, and look out for the boogeyman. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you soon. Okay. Well, I just saw that, Miss Marianne. Show us how your mind works. You might be the only one. I might have to just send it to you in an email. But I'll do. I've been wanting to do a video like that, and I'll do it if somebody want to watch it. I think I flood the members zone with so many videos because I'm like, there's only 3 people watch this, or 5 or 10, or whatever, because it's so much random stuff I put. I just find it interesting to me. I'm like, oh, they might want to look at this, you know. It's stuff that I find interesting. Somebody's gonna find it. But yeah, I could show you how I edit and stuff. I was gonna do a behind the scenes and in my thought process. So I'll probably do that and exactly what I'm thinking. I'll try to say exactly what I'm thinking, how I make these videos. Um, but thank you so much, and we'll see you next time that I go live. Thanks for your support. I appreciate y'all. Y'all real. Y'all real for that. Random is interesting. And the music and the replay and the everything. Yeah, and the music and the beat, Miss Marianne, because I know you just be like, you know, liking, and y'all all like the stuff that I like. The beat has to speak to me immediately. It's like, and the words, and they have to speak to me, and everything is a beautiful symphony of correlation of sound, movement, everything. So yeah, I got you. I got you. Replay value. I love it. Yeah, and that's what the playlists are for. The playlist for the members. Just play it while you cooking, while you doing whatever, and just put all those quiet storms. Let it run it up. You know, one after another. I keep sending more Kendrick reaction videos. Oh, okay. Okay, Edward. Thank you. Shout out to the people that be tagging me. Y'all be tagging me on stuff. I actually watch. I watch, and if I don't, I didn't have a chance, or I had too much work. But all right. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.